Helicopters' blades whir overhead as government officials survey the surging waters below. A dramatic scene playing out across Kenya's central hydropower lifeline. Sustained rainfall in the Mount Kenya and Aberdares catchment areas has overwhelmed the Seven Forks hydropower cascade, culminating in a critical alert: the spilling over of Kiambere Dam, the final buffer in the chain.
Water levels in the Seven Forks dams have risen sharply. As of 14th May, that is yesterday, Masinga Dam reached 1057.15 meters above sea level. And in fact, as at today, we are now talking of 1057.17.
The spilling in Masinga is okay. We allow spilling on Masinga is okay because we have Kamburu downstream that will hold a little bit. We have Kindaruma, we have Gitaro. And then now we have the last standing goalkeeper who is at the moment, who is Kiambere. And when now spilling started in Kiambere, then we have to issue a second alert because Kenyan had already issued original alert. Now we have to raise the alarm warning. We have to ring the bells and tell the people downstream that now the goalkeeper is no longer holding the water, and the water now is moving south.
With Kiambere breaching its full capacity, the government is sounding the alarm to downstream communities, particularly in Garissa and Tana River, urging immediate evacuation to higher grounds.
Garissa communities and the communities in Tana River, we are asking you, please stay away from the riverbank, move to higher grounds, so that even as the water spills down and goes all the way to the Indian Ocean, you are not affected. As a matter of fact, it takes about 3 days for the river for the water to get to Garissa. So by tomorrow evening, we are expecting that water should be in Garissa, and latest by Saturday morning should be in Tana River. So at least this gives adequate warning for the communities living downstream to be able to move to higher grounds.
This marks the second official alert by authorities following an earlier warning on April 30th when the largest dam in the system, Masinga, also began to spill.
Kiambere, which is the last dam on the cascade, started spilling yesterday in the morning. Kenyan, as a responsible corporate entity, has a duty to inform and prepare the public. 2 weeks ago, we issued an alert to all communities and stakeholders downstream of Kiambere Dam and along Tana River. The overflow may lead to a significant increase in river flows and may pose a flood risk.
Energy PS Alex Washira, who toured the cascade on Thursday, reaffirmed the government's preparedness and long-term resilience plans for both infrastructure and the communities at risk.
We are committed to ensuring that your safety is prioritized, not just today, but in the face of future climate shocks. The government will continue to provide regular updates and will ensure that all necessary support is extended to affected communities. We encourage the public to stay informed through the official channels and to follow advisories issued by relevant authorities.
To reduce long-term risk, plans are in place to raise Masinga Dam by 1.5 meters, a move expected to increase capacity and reduce downstream flooding.
One of our cheapest sources of power is hydro, so we need to store this water for a longer period of time. So we are having a discussion with development partners and TARDA, inter-government agency, how we can raise where we are standing today by another 1.5 meters. That will allow us to hold this water for longer. And secondly, it will also hold more water and avoid disaster downstream.
Kenyan, working closely with the Ministry of Energy and the national government, continues to monitor the situation closely, issuing real-time advisories as necessary.
We therefore urge communities living downstream to move to higher ground and avoid the river banks. Kenyan is continuously monitoring the situation and working closely with the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, represented by our PS, as well as national county governments, disaster management teams, to ensure timely communication and safety for all affected communities.
Authorities have reassured the public that the dams remain structurally sound.
The dam is safe. In fact, as one government approach together with the Ministry of Asals and Regional Development in partnership with the Ministry of Energy, together with Kengen and Tarda, we have regularly conducted assessments, and the regulatory body that is in charge of inspections has issued a clean bill of health for Masinga Dam as well as Kiambere Dam. I want to assure you that this spillage is a safety mechanism, it's not a risk, it's a design element of the dams to ensure safety of the dam and the communities downstream in terms of regulating flow. Finally, you will realize that the dam is not only a power dam, but is a dam that is a source of water for residents of Mwingi, Kitui and many other communities downstream. You may notice that this year's spillage, the water is a bit clearer, as opposed to last year when the water was a bit brown. That's an effect of sedimentation. That speaks to the government efforts that have been done upstream in terms of conservation and prevention of soil erosion.
As nature asserts its force, the government's call is clear. Heed the warnings, seek safety and trust in the ongoing efforts to build resilience for today and the seasons ahead.